Hi, I'm Kelly Bassetti Primo, and welcome to my podcast, Learning Curves, where I bring the small business community direct to you. In my podcast, Learning Curves, we learn about all the unique services that businesses have to offer, and we also learn about the different challenges that businesses go through. In times, businesses go through several different ups and downs, and we talk about the learning curves that we all go through and how we address those. I hope you enjoy my podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning Curves. We're back after a couple-month break. I'm here today with Megan Chamberlain.
Yes,
Say hi, Megan.
hi.
Yeah, it's nice to be back here in the studio. I took a break for a couple months.
A needed one?
Yes, much needed break. I think we did 4 episodes right when I got back from Italy, got married over there, and got back. And after being gone for a month.
Do you think you'll go back?
I would love to go back.
Okay.
I would actually love to live there or somewhere overseas.
I agree.
Yeah, it was beautiful and just loved every second of it.
Good. You probably needed it too.
Yes, I did.
And your husband both.
Yes. And we came back and then things been a little chaotic since then, but that's things happen in life that, that set you back a little bit. So we had to take a little bit of a break. Broke my foot. Had tons of stuff going on with the business to get back on track from being gone for so long. And then the hurricane hit.
Welcome back.
And wiped all my husband's businesses out. So we've kind of had a little bit of a rough patch. But yeah, take that break, get yourself back together, and keep going.
Keep going, yep. It's hard to do, but you got to muster it up.
It is hard to do. But my favorite thing is this show, Learning Curves, because I get to come on here and meet people like you.
Yes. I know just this conversation that we've had, I've loved it already so much. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So Megan is the owner of BalanceRightFitness and Wellness.
Yes,
and we met her through Tampa Bay Women's Professional Network.
Yes.
Love that group.
Yes, I love it. It came at a really good time in my life.
Yeah, they're such a great resource and motivator for women-owned businesses.
Yes. And it's hard to find that. I don't know if you had trouble as a business owner and a woman finding that kind of support.
Yeah, I just really like the support, how often they have their meetup groups and how they get together and just the support that they have with each other. I know that I brought them into Second Soul Studios to have an event, and they've just, ever since then, just been referring all kinds of people here.
I actually came to one of those and had my new headshots
Oh,
done
nice,
here. Yes,
nice.
and it was amazing. It was awesome. And I was like, I should get more into this and these women, and I've been going to the events ever since.
Yeah, very powerful and really great group of women. So can you tell me a little bit explain your business to me?
Okay.
You have a lot of different things going on with it. And
I do.
I think a lot of women would find your business very interesting.
Yes. So I'm a registered exercise physiologist and nutritionist. I am the founder of BalanceRightFitness and Wellness. And what that is an online platform where I administer exercise and nutrition programs to help that individual. I have recently expanded it into a more clinical side as the registered exercise physiologist. I've had my Balance Right programs and app for years now, and simultaneously working in the hospital with disease management and building that career too, that in this last year I decided to join the forces, join that fitness aspect, that health aspect with the clinical aspect and disease management, because I found years of doing this that a lot of my healthy women were not so healthy, and they really needed an advocate and someone to help them through their journeys. And it's not always just weight loss. It's not just fitness. So I've joined the forces of Balance Right Fitness and Wellness, and got out of the hospital and opened up the virtual and in-person clinic as well, along with the app.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you get to do one-on-one sessions with these women on a weekly basis, monthly basis?
Yeah, so depends. Again, it's building. It's been really hard for me to explain, but I have the clinic aspect, wellness aspect is now working with physicians and having that avenue and having their trust now and them calling me consulting for their patients. So I'm in physician offices on a rotating schedule. They also refer to me via remote through the app. And I think that's what's really intriguing for them and their patients is that I can monitor them while they're at home and at anywhere, as opposed to if the physicians need help with that, with the time and all that. They see you in crunch time. So I'm kind of that plug-in to their office to really assess and monitor their patients, both in office and remotely. And then women and men, it is primarily women, but I do love my male clients too. Don't feel neglected. That come to me for all their weight loss and health needs. And sometimes it's just building that confidence back. It could be postpartum. I have some women that come to me because of health-related issues, PCOS, thyroid. They had their thyroid removed. And sometimes it's just like they just want to get back into feeling that good again and just want an activity program, a little bit of exercise and a balanced meal plan, and they're happy. So it's so customizable, very customizable, but it's more than just fitness.
Okay, tell me a little bit. We were talking earlier, and you were telling me about your process, about how you go about doing that. And I think that that's a big differentiator. But there's so many online programs that you can find that are selling you on Facebook.
Yes.
And they're great and everything, but what you have to offer is a lot different because you not only have the exercise aspect, but the nutrition side. Tell me about your process and what you do.
So just like you said, it's the ones you're finding online can be very salesy, right? So how many times have you heard, summer's coming, get bikini ready? Look, I am guilty. Okay, I have sales talked that before as a coach, but that's not right. And that's what I feel in my journey now and as a coach and evolving business is it's more than just exercise and nutrition, and it's more than just selling the person to get them to buy, right? Like, yeah, I got to make a living, but at the end of the day, my passion is to help, really help that person. So it's more than just exercise and nutrition through my app. If you have use an Apple Watch, Fitbit, a Garmin, Samsung, whatever, any activity type tracker, scale, it syncs in with my app. So as a physiologist, I'm able to really collect and assess that data and analyze it and create a program for someone. So I go into sleep management. I go into stress management. It could be smoking cessation. There's just so many avenues that encompass wellness and fitness.
Can you tell on the app if someone's trying to quit smoking and they're smoking still?
No, there is a lot of tools now and technology that could be more accessible. But honestly, when I started over 13 years ago, smoking cessation was a huge thing. It's not so much anymore. What I found in my experience anyways, a lot of my patients have already quit smoking. They're dealing with the repercussions and the disease of it. But a lot of them, and especially women in our demographic, in our age group, they're not smoking. So that is something addressed with more of the older population. E-cigarettes, I still do address, but a lot of the women in our age group that are coming to me, it's not smoking. A lot of it is honestly more mentality.
Mentality?
Yeah. And more so, I feel like in the last 5 years of my career than when I first started. But yeah, I address all of it. I want to see the total picture. My specialty is really the physiological and biomechanical demand and responses, and then using the tool of exercise, using the tool of nutrition and stress management techniques. Those are tools, but when they're dosed properly, how I explain it to clients or physicians, when you prescribe a medication, it's dosed out for a reason, to get that body to respond or stop responding for something, right? What I do is assess all of that in that person. I listen and look at them, and as they're talking to me and I'm looking at this data, I can just so fine-tunely, it's hard to sometimes explain it because I'm like, it's in here, I promise. And then I can come up with this whole program design of literally, this is what's missing in your body or what's going on. And if we can just balance it all together, your results will come. So it's using exercise as medicine, nutrition as medicine. I 100% wholeheartedly feel that. And that goes into my programming. That goes into how I treat my patients. That goes into with physicians. And that goes into my fitness moms and all of them, is understanding all of those variables and how they intertwine with one another.
And one of the things I liked that you do also is the fact that you have that you check their labs.
Yes. So
that will tell quite a story as well.
It tells such a story, and it's like, but again, we're not educated on that. Social media doesn't throw that down our throats.
No,
they throw down to be bikini ready. Mm-hmm. But if you've been trying to get bikini ready for a long time now and you're not able to achieve it, there's a reason. And results follow habits. That's been one of my mottos. And it's like our lifestyles, again, going back to that dosing factor. If you think about smoking, for example, since we were just talking about it, when you do it for minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, it becomes something. Same thing with your habits in life. When you have a career where you're seated like this, and you think you do that for minutes and hours and weeks and years, what do you think happens? So those lifestyles, those choices, those things all snowball into things. So kind of reversing that, showing people that, educating on all of those things, and then just fine-tunely balancing it all.
So a lot of it also training them on how to break a habit.
Yes. And it's not so much breaking the habit. It's maybe modifying it, changing it. Maybe the habit does need to go. But that's where that balance and mentality also comes in. It's because at the end of the day, that person needs to be happy. They have to have a quality of life. Yeah. So that's my job as a coach and with the client, to have that communication and really have that understanding. What is your true desire and goal? So sometimes as the client, they don't match up. And so being able to look at lab work, it's like, I have no energy, I'm tired all the time, and blah, 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 blah. What supplement can you recommend me? And it's like, have you followed up with your primary care physician and just got baseline labs? Because hydration is more than just drinking water. What does your electrolytes look like? It's such a good tool to just understand your body. And that's where it also comes into advocate of just, especially women, is following up with your regular health routine, your mammograms, all of that is just so important. And when you can use that data, then go to your physician and be like, I have no energy, or X, Y, and Z. Help me. You have to do your job as the client too.
Yes. Well, makes sense.
Yeah.
I love that. And then the app that you have, you had mentioned that you have different types of exercise programs that you put on there. How does all that work?
Yes. So I'm in the middle of evolving, if you will, business-wise in those programs. But I do have programs, more just fitness of, you want to tone your legs in the midsection, right? That's very common in women. Again, it does get into that salesy pitch, but some people are fit already, are not looking to be bikini ready. Some people don't need weight loss. So there's very generic fitness programs that people can just log on to the website and purchase. It's not so much coachable. You have everything through the app stepped out for you. I'm still in communication with you. But it just also depends on that level of commitment of what that person wants and can also afford, right? There's a balance. So there's those programs out there. And then there are more one-on-one type coaching. If you want to be coached on nutritional and lifestyle habits and working on those, you need a more one-on-one program. If you are something with a doctor's told you to lose weight and you don't know where to start, you need more of a one-on-one program. Those challenges can be great to kind of motivate and get someone started and kind of the gateway, right?
Yes.
So a lot of them start that way and then become my one-on-one coaching clients. But it depends on the person, what level of commitment they're ready for, and then what their true goals and desire are. At the end of the day, it's up to them. So I just of course, get their goals and all of that. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's up to you and how strict you want to be or don't want to be and how you want to balance this journey. I am all for you and I will push you, but it's got to be up to that person. So I have the one-on-one coaching where we do nutrition, lifestyle. We do weight loss where I work with physicians and it's medical weight loss. So I do that aspect as well. My favorite part are I love working with my specialist patients, like my cardiac patients, my pulmonary patients, surgery patients. I get, like I was telling you earlier, I've had a few handful of clients now that have been referred to me for optic nerve release. So I get those types of clients or patients. And then surgeries where if it's abdominal repair, I put them through a specific exercise protocol because there's specific exercises and ways you can do things even prior to a surgery to help that surgeon out and that person's outcome recovery-wise.
Yeah, they'll be stronger afterwards if they have.
Right, and especially too with women and the separation with diastasis recti. I never pronounced that correctly. But if it gets bad enough, some surgeons will come to me and be like, I need to reattach so-and-so to this, like da-da-da-da-da. And then that's where they consult me and I provide that pre-surgery and post-surgery program. Post-COVID has been a great thing I've loved being able to help with, and especially on the cardiac and pulmonary standpoint is really getting that inflammation down and whatever they may be experiencing at that time. So rehabilitating COVID patients. And I have
through exercise and...
Through exercise. Again, it's not just the exercise and nutrition, but primarily, yes, dosing such specific exercises medicine. If you think about medicine and the chemicals and stuff that are released, a lot of those responses and hormone responses you get the same way through exercise. Mm-hmm. So I actually communicate a lot with my physicians of I suggest and recommend maybe changing some of these medications based on the exercise response in this person, how they're tolerating. And again, a lot of that is too educating the physician sometimes. Mm-hmm. I have some physicians that are like, I trust you. Do what you do, man. Like, I trust you. And then I have some physicians that do push back and challenge me, but I like it. But so I really love that area. So I see anyone and everyone. I remember one of my professors was like, you have to pick a niche as a coach. Like, you have to pick, is it women? Is it men? Bodybuilding, like all of this. And I was like, no, I don't want to find a niche. If someone comes to me, I want to be able to help that person. And it may not just be me. It could be a team of people like your physicians and specialists. I'm just an added benefit, an added asset to that team. But I want to be able to help everyone. And I've always had that mindset. And I feel like, and true, and my passion is that physiology and biomechanics. That's what I understand. So all those people encompass it: weight loss, fitness, COVID, cardiac, pulmonary, diabetics, renal, I can see all those people. That's what allows me to do my job, fulfill my passion and my purpose, but make connections with specialists and primary care physicians because I can take care of their patients and help them no matter if it's surgery or what. So,
and I bet it feels really good to take a patient and coach them and watch them and through all their positive results.
Yes, and
get
that
to
goes
their final goal.
Back to the mentality. So there's actually, it's the health belief model, and this is a true theory of when you are at fear of death, your motivation to take care of your health goes to an extreme. It becomes a priority. When you're healthy and you don't get your labs, you don't know what's going on, you think you're healthy, right? The theory is you're not as motivated as someone that's just been told by their physician, you have cardiac disease. That person is much more motivated to take care of, because they want to be around for their kids. They want to be around for their grandkids, that quality of life. So that's where I, love helping them because that mentality is there. My stress management to them is now learning how to cope with their disease, and referring and making those connections to psychologists and therapists. And again, working as a team for the best of that patient, the best interest of that patient. It makes me most emotional. I love my patients. But yes, I love helping them. I have a very special case, and she's a Down syndrome woman. She's 18. She just turned 18. And she had COVID really bad, and she was on the ventilator for quite some time last year. And the physicians referred her to me, consulted me on her. And I've been working with her. December will be a year. And within a month, and this isn't just me, again, it's a team of people. And she's not fully functional again. We got her off the ventilator. We got her off life support. We got her off oxygen. The trachea, everything, the peg tube, everything has come out. She is back in school. Her family sent me a video of her singing. She loves singing. Aww. And, it's just like that, yes, is so rewarding to me that it's not physique. Exercise is just so much more than physique and weight loss.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I feel like I'm using that power
yeah.
to help people that really need it and want it.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
That's great. But you're helping so many people has to feel really good.
I hope so. It's challenging too on my end, but when you hear those stories come back and those families send you the videos, it's just like that validation and purpose of like, okay, I'm doing what I was meant to do.
I'm fulfilling my purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that feels the best, especially being a business owner. That's what we all achieve.
And that's kind of what keeps you going, is when you see and feel those things. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
It's like what keeps you going in business.
Right.
I'm sure you feel, coming back in the world when you were put in. It's like, how do you keep going with things like that? Because they're not always sunshine stories.
No, they're not. There's a lot of heartache in it as well. So if you can get those testimonials and feel good, the videos like you mentioned of the success, that just is like, yes, doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. So
good job with that.
I have another fella who, again, it's a team. And actually, it was so funny. He was like, oh, I'm going to work with this personal trainer and da-da-da. And I was like educating him, just make sure you choose, all this stuff. And the guy he was with was actually my mentor and hired me years ago, and it was just so funny, like the tables have turned. And we came together as a team for him, and he got his double organ transplant. He sent me this beautiful testimony, and it's like, I'm on this earth. I'm here to do what I was meant to do. It drives me.
That's great. So you were telling me that you've been in business since you've been 18 years old?
Yes. Yeah, 18, 19. Yeah.
That's young.
It is.
So how did you get started at 18?
So
As a young business owner.
Yes. I always felt like as a young kid, so my dad was a radiologist and an entrepreneur. So he was the director of radiology at a small town hospital in Dade City. And he also opened up small restaurants in the area and everything. And just as a kid, I don't know, I held on to that. I always had business plans, like drawings and stuff. I remember sitting down with my brother and my cousin as a young girl and like mapping out restaurants, and I didn't know what type of business I wanted, I felt like that's always been in my blood. And my mom constantly reminds me, like, you have your dad's like drive and, passion and everything. My dad's not with me, unfortunately, but I was with my family's health and my mom's health, my dad. I've been in disease since I was born. And that I used exercise as a stress release. That's how I got into it. And then everything just snowballed. And I found how exercise helped not only me with stress, but how it helped diseased people. And I took that and ran with it. Because of my family, the finances, I didn't grow up extremely wealthy. I had to put myself through college. So my mom, unfortunately, had a very bad hemorrhagic stroke when she was younger.
Oh, no.
And she was in a coma, all that. So I lost a lot of high school time, lost college scholarship, like all of that. So I ended up at the community college post-high school and, their finances and all of that. So I had to put myself through college. I had to pay for my way and all of that. So I had to hustle. And I just, again, I had that business mind.
And that's when you started your first business?
And that's when I started my first business. I found this passion and exercise as a stress tool for myself. And it just snowballed. And I was working at a gym. Literally, it just like God's timing, the energy, everything kind of worked out the way that it was. And that this was this was my calling, because I was going to a gym and it just like they were asking me they pushed me to be a coach and to be all these things. And then again, like I found as a young personal trainer that I'm getting really low cut on this payroll.
Yeah, I feel bad for the personal trainers at the gyms. They make like $15, $18 an hour, and they're charging
and it's commission,
$50 to $80.
You think car salesmen are bad? Like, it's crazy. So, my clients were like, oh my God, you're helping me so much. And I'm paying this large of money to the gym and you get this amount. Like, what if I just paid you, under the table and all of that? And that's really frowned upon. So I took it upon myself and left and was like, I can do this on my own. Yeah. So I just took the business sense and I was like, I got to hustle, make myself get through college and live and all of this. So I just monetized my passion. And I've just been going with it ever since. And I've had jobs with owning businesses. And one business is kind of, now I've had multiple, but that's like the one steady thing I've always had since I was 18, 19 is running these businesses and creating them and all of this. But I've like worked at the hospitals and stuff like that simultaneously. This is the first time since I was 19 that I've actually been just fully in business again. So it's been a long hustle journey.
So for a while you were working at the hospitals. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good way to build up your brand, though, and get people to know you. So then you can go out on your own.
Right. And on the medical sense, and now as a registered exercise physiologist, we now are recognized as a national provider. That was not the case, not even 2 years ago. This is very brand new in this field. So having years of building that rapport with physicians, and over time, I've worked my butt off at that hospital. And again, I just advocated for my patients. And I think that's just what the physicians saw. Mm-hmm. And it just, again, it snowballed from there. It was my work and my passion. And that's what people see, I think. And that's just where everything drums from.
Yeah. No, that's great. You started with your own businesses and then went to college. And then from there, and I think that's a smart thing to do, is like go into the workforce and learn and figure things out. But it's also a great way to get connections.
Right. Right. It's like
to start your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, it's frowned upon. You shouldn't be a personal trainer, and there's like non-competes and stuff like that. I didn't have them at that time. I didn't break any rules, but it happens. And that's kind of what I found with talking to other business owners and stuff. Some of them kind of start out that way, like event planners, people in that kind of avenue, marketing directors and all of that. They worked for some big time company, built those clienteles and rapports. And I think at the end of the day, those people, it's like, I'm doing all the work.
Yeah. I might as well start my own company.
I might as well start my own company. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I push for people to do that. I'm like, try it, do it. Like, it's such a learning experience. I always tell everyone, I'm like, go start your own business. You should try it.
Yeah. Once you get all the tools, you can take it and do it yourself for sure.
Right.
That's how I got started. The same way I was working for a company and doing promotions, and it was great, but I felt that I could do more for those promotions because we were just selling one aspect of it. But I'm like, God, I could take this and add in where we're actually coordinating more, where I'm not just like selling the promotion. That's what we were kind of doing, where we're giving away these free gifts for people to come in. But I could coordinate the food and the decorations and maybe bring in like the band. And I started like adding more things to my promotions, where that kind of got into the whole event, coordinating the event business.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started the promotion side of it, but it ended up, I started my own company being more of, I'm going to run this promotion for you, but it's going to be more like an event.
Okay. I love that.
So it makes it fun for the people when they're coming here, that they're just not coming here for the free gift. They might stay around longer. If they stay around longer, then they might be willing to do more and to buy.
Right.
The longer they stay, the more likely they might buy.
Exactly.
They just come in and get something and leave.
And then you're missing out on the rapport that you're building with that person. And you said it so perfectly when you're like, you can do so much more. And I felt the same way when I was at the hospital. I felt like I was stifled in what I could do there. I would have physicians come to me and be like, can you rehab this abdominal, And I'm like, I was in cardiac pulmonary rehab. So by insurance and dictation, I could only follow those systems. But by my knowledge and experience, I could do so much more.
Yes.
So it was like, it was due time. It was due time.
At CEA Marketing, we take your business, your passion, and your why, and we sell it. If you're unsure where to start marketing your company, CEA Marketing is here to help. Our team at CEA has tons of experience and top-notch training, which helps you take all the stress and confusion out of marketing your own business. After years of working with large companies like Pulte Homes, the Outback Bowl, and Metro Places, we guarantee the successful implementation of a marketing strategy. And it's nice that the hospitals are recognizing the need for this kind of consulting with eating the proper food and also exercising. Because I think a lot of times they'll, get the patient and get them out and then realizing that they're just going to get sick again. Mm-hmm. And I think health insurance companies need to realize that's something, insurance companies need to realize that's something important to pay for.
Right.
Let's get them healthy, but a lot of them don't pay for that.
Right. And
crazy.
That becomes like going back to the whole lab conversation is balancing out even with insurance, right? Because insurances aren't physicians. They're not specialists. They don't know your health, And it's they're dictating how your care goes, and it's a fine line with my field in that, and again, the challenges, but also like the love for that challenge of sometimes your physicians will only do lab work, or maybe they won't. Like, why do lab work? You're healthy, you're young, you're healthy, especially for women, and we get very pushed off, and it is very known. So it takes women up to 6 years sometimes to get a full diagnosis, and so.
It's a long time.
Yes. And I'm experiencing that in my own health journey and with my patients and my clients and stuff, so my experiences. So it's, sometimes just like physicians, it's like, you play that fine line, and then it's like, okay, we'll go to this place and get labs, and you're going to have to pay out of pocket. And they're like, well, why do I need to pay out of pocket? And I'm like, it's education into that system of if you want to do it this way, that's why nothing's being exposed. So we need to maybe pay out of pocket so we can get a further review. Yeah. And that's just like on a lab standpoint, but that comes in with physical therapy. I mean, so many aspects into this field. So being the exercise physiologist and nutritionist, it is, I think, becoming more into the hospitals, the clinics, and physicians, and insurances are hopefully, I think, waking up. I really do think we're on a good movement.
Yes,
and that's why with exercise physiologists now being a provider in the nation now, I think this is just the beginning. There's less, I think, than 12 of me that are nationally, I don't know what it would be called with the NPI number, but there's less than 12 total, and then less than 5 of me that self-practice. So it'll be interesting to see how it continues to go. But being in this field and kind of advocating for my patients, I now have insurance companies reimbursing my programs, and that's huge. The YMCA is probably the only other fitness corporation company out there that can get their programs and stuff reimbursed through insurance, or they're on your health benefits list. And actually, one of my professors from my school is on the boards of that. So they advocate and push for those. And so it's going to take more people like me, more coaches like me, more exercise physiologists, nutritionists, dietitians to keep this momentum going. And I hope it does go and stick and hopefully make a good impact in the healthcare system.
Yeah, I think it's so important, especially as people are living longer. They continue to put Band-Aids on them and feed them drugs, and they do live longer, but it's costing the whole system more money than having more people like you that can come in and help manage that and help the person actually live a quality, healthy life.
Quality life, yes, exactly. Like, we're so, we live in this go world, especially women and multitaskers and businesswomen and moms, and it is a lot, and our health gets neglected, and I'm experiencing that. So I've experienced it in so many ways. So it's interesting. I would love to just have more people advocate for that and keep this in the healthcare system. I really think it's going to be a true value and good value as we keep moving forward. So advocate, coaches out there, advocate for your patients, you physicians, keep it up, because hopefully I think it's just now making an impact, and hopefully we can just keep it going. But yeah, I just got my programs, starting to get reimbursed, and I just keep telling the patients and the insurance companies and the physicians too, and how many documentations I need and to fax and to bug that physician or to bug that insurance company, because at the end of the day, they're going to look and be like, who is this girl that keeps faxing us all this stuff? And why does she keep trying to change my patient's things? And then, and then that relationship's built.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it. Oh, it's a great story, and I think it also, there's a lot of, like my daughter right now, she's going to school, Florida in biology, but I know she wanted to do something in healthcare, and that's, you would not necessarily want to be a doctor or a nurse, but that your career is something that I think maybe a lot of inspiring young ones that want to get into healthcare but don't want to go to the level of
the full level. Yeah. And I've actually, with what I've been wanting to do and what I'm allowed to do as a provider, and physician assistant, nurse practitioner, and I've tried to go for my doctorates, and I've been in. Is it a
4-year degree that you went through, or the 6 years?
So I have my master's degree. Mm-hmm. It took me quite a while, but it shouldn't have taken that long. I had children during college and everything, and I went to school at USF. They were amazing working with me, because it ran like a cohort, like a nursing program, and I went all the way up to my master's. So I had children and stuff, so they worked with me really well. So my timeline did not look like the rest of my classmates'
what would a typical timeline look for somebody?
It was, my undergrad was a 4-year degree. So the exercise physiology course, you had to have your 2-year basic foundational education, or whatever the university terms that, and then it was the 2-year into the exercise physiology cohort. So altogether 4 years, and then I got my master's, which was 2 years. But I also got pregnant in that program, so it was, my timeline was a little bit different. But yeah, so about 6 years, and I got my master's in it. So great. I would love to, and I've tried to go for my doctorate, and it was just like I really had to keep sitting down with myself and having self-talks. I'm sure as a businesswoman, you understand. And it was just like, what benefit is that going to get me, especially too with outstanding student loans in my field and that long. I went to community college 2 years, university, and then my master's. So I was technically in college a really long time. They were starting to charge me out-of-state tuition. So it took me a bit of time. But I went, again, PA. I went, and I even had advisors go, you should really consider nurse practitioner, or you should, consider going to medical school. And it was just like, but what is that going to do for me and what I'm trying to achieve and the type of people I want to see and what, I want to do with them. And for the longest time, I was like, I just need to be a nurse practitioner or something and go for my doctorates or, blah, blah, blah. But now as my field, being a provider and everything, it's like, I'm glad I didn't. It worked out the way it was supposed to work out.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So it's exciting. I would love to encourage men and women. And there are, you have Kaiser University, you have USF, you have UCF, the University of Tampa that have these exercise physiology programs. So I think we are very important. Those programs are very important. I don't think they're exposed much. So people should really take advantage of that. If they're anything like body-wise, I just fell in love with human anatomy, and it was just like, I want to do something with this.
That's great. Well, that's awesome. Sounds like you've done a great job.
Thank you. I try. Try my hardest.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. If our guests want to reach out to you, maybe if you have, but you think that you could use Megan and help put together a meal plan, exercise plan, how can they reach out to you?
So I'm having a new website built right now. It should be done soon. The domain will be BalanceRightFW for fitnesswellness.com. It's not live yet, so you won't be able to access it. But right now, if you can just Google Balance Right or Balance Right Fitness and Wellness, my name pops up. Instagram, Facebook, I'm on there.
Okay.
So they can find me that way. And then my email is balancerightfitness@gmail.com. So there are some people that aren't on social media.
Yeah.
You know? So.
We'll make sure that we share all your links in the show notes.
Oh, cool.
So look at the show notes and you'll have all the links of how to get in touch with Megan.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. This has been a great experience. So I hope people are impacted, whether business-wise, woman-wise, health-wise, in every manner. Just one person is all it takes.
That's all it takes. I think so.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
you're welcome.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Second Soul Studios is a full-service production studio with capabilities for photo, video, podcasting, editing, co-working, and more. Our photo video studio has a number of different backdrop choices and props to choose from. We also have a gourmet kitchen set, or if you're an upstart podcaster, you'll love our 4-person podcast studio. So what are you waiting for? Visit secondsoulstudios.com to book a tour today.